I'm Dr. Thad Deal, and on this video we're going to be talking about thyroid again because it's one of the most underdiagnosed and mistreated chronic conditions that we see in our office. And the reason is why a lot of chronic conditions aren't being helped through traditional methods, and that's because no one takes the time to really unravel exactly what the underlying causes and contributing factors are. And what makes us different from a functional medicine perspective is that we look at each patient neurologically, metabolically, and more recently we're going to look at genetics and how they affect your chronic health condition. We see a lot of people coming into our office who either suspect that they have a thyroid problem because they have all the symptoms. They have the fatigue, the weight gain, the cold hands and feet, the dry skin, the hair loss, even depression, things of that nature. But they're told over and over again that their lab tests are normal. And part of the problem is how do we define normal, and the fact that complete laboratory analysis are never done because the treatment doesn't change. And the only treatment that traditional medicine has is synthetic replacement with things like Thyroid and levothyroxine, which aren't going to help the majority of people. Then we see a second group of people who are diagnosed with low thyroid function and they're being treated, but they still have all those symptoms: the fatigue, the weight gain, the cold hands, the feet, the dry skin, the hair loss, depression, digestive problems. And they're told that their lab tests are normal due to their treatment and there's nothing more that they can do, and oftentimes they're just going to be medicated for each of those other symptoms individually. And again, what the problem is no one's really looking or taking the time to find out what the underlying cause of the person's thyroid problem is. Their number one cause of low thyroid function is an autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's, in which your immune system is making antibodies against the thyroid and attacking the thyroid. The problem with not addressing that is if your immune system's gone haywire and is attacking thyroid, first of all, it's chronic degenerative condition, and as time goes by, more and more thyroid's going to lose, and they're going to have to change your medication levels. But your immune system's not going to just limit itself to targeting attacking your thyroid. It's going to go after other tissues. So that's why oftentimes you see people with 2 or 3 autoimmune diagnoses. However, today we're going to talk about genetics and how they can affect your thyroid or other chronic health problems. In 2003, something called the Human Genome Project was done. And in that process, they had identified what are referred to as SNPs, or single nucleotide polymorphism, or genetic variations. And some of these variations can have a dramatic influence on your health. And one of those is called the MTHFR gene mutation, which a lot of folks have, especially those suffering from chronic conditions, everything from autism to cancer. And the reason why this can have such a dramatic impact or effect on our health is because the number of different systems and biochemical processes it affects. It has to do with vitamin B metabolism, and it can affect hormones, neurotransmitters, your immune system function, your body's ability to detoxify itself. So it can affect dopamine and serotonin levels, which are critical for proper thyroid function. B vitamins need to be activated or turned on. If you are lacking this MTHFR, or if you have this genetic mutation, you are not going to methylate as well as someone who does not have this mutation, meaning you're not going to activate or turn on these critical B vitamins that are responsible for running this cycle, and you're going to be more likely to develop some of these conditions. It also affects detoxification pathways, so you're going to be more sensitive to chemicals, toxins, heavy metals like lead. We can look for and address this MTHFR gene mutation, because it is what we refer to as an actionable gene, meaning if you have this gene, there's things that we can do from a nutritional perspective to help support it. The other thing that happens is if you have this MTHFR gene mutation is you're not going to methylate as well, and homocysteine levels are going to rise. As homocysteine level rise, it becomes a neurodegenerative and a cardiovascular risk factor, meaning it's going to damage blood vessels and it's going to damage nerves. So again, by supporting this, we can help lower those homocysteine levels, decreasing your risk of cardiovascular disease and neurodegenerative conditions. The other thing that happens when homocysteine levels rise is it can interfere with thyroid metabolism. So if people aren't looking at this, there's no way in which they can fully address why you continue to suffer from those symptoms of low thyroid function. And again, that's what makes us different, is because we're going to look at you neurologically, metabolically. We're going to look at your genetics and how some of these SNPs or genetic variations might be contributing to or influencing your chronic health condition. So if you're interested in getting to the root cause of your chronic health condition, I invite you to call our office at 814-238-0232 to set up an initial consultation and discovery visit to find out how and if we can help you improve the quality of your life.